What a great audience. Hey, hold your signs up. Hoshi, get some signs. Look at that one over there. Wally George. Hey, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Wally George. Okay, Arnie Evans, you did a great job warming the crowd up. Our executive producer, Arnie Evans. And let me say, right now, it's a pleasure to have my very dear friend right here, as always, David Kennedy. There he is. All right, David, I'll tell you, we have a show tonight.
Well, it's a crazy crowd here tonight. You see some of those haircuts?
Oh, they're wonderful. No, those are girls, David.
Oh,
okay. Hold on. No, they are. Now we have guests tonight you wouldn't believe. We have a maniac on this program. He claims to be a private eye. Now, he used to be a politician. He tried to run for office about 12 times, never got elected, so he became a private eye. Now, you know who hires him? I'll tell you who hires him. He works for politicians, and they hire him to dig up scandals and dirt on their opponents. Oh, get out of here. What a raunchy job to be in. Come on. And speaking of raunchy jobs, do you recall the singing stripper Vanessa was on this show? Remember her? Now, I thought she had reached an all-time low, but she's gone even lower, Arnie. I'm having her back on to expose this raunchy business that is sweeping the country. Vanessa has a new organization called Vanessa-Sex.
How does she do that?
And you know what she does, David?
I couldn't imagine what she
For
did.
$1 a minute, she talks dirty to you. Oh, that's disgusting. I'm going to talk to Vanessa about that. Okay. Now, speaking of ridiculous things, I got a book in the mail today. Hoshi, get it. I'll hold it up here. It's called The Address Book, How to Reach Anyone Who's Anyone. And it's written by a Michael Levine. I'm going to tell you something. He sent along, this guy must be a real jerk. I'm serious. He sent me along. Hoshi, here, let's get a close-up of this. A whole bunch of maniacs like Charles Manson and, no, really, and all murderers, and he tells you how to send them fan letters. Come on! Get out of here. This guy is trying to make celebrities out of first-degree murder. He tells you how to write to them, fan letters, gives you their prison cell number. Can you believe that? Wait a minute. But I want to thank Michael for sending me the address book. I want you to know, if you're watching, I'm going to keep this close to my heart. Get out of here. That's fantastic. All right, now, David, we have our first guest on our hot seat, and who is it?
All right, first up on the hot seat tonight, Wally, is a man who digs up dirt on political candidates, Private Eye, Jan B. Tucker.
Well, Jan, hold it. Well, Jan, as you can see, you've got a great following already on my show.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
And I'm glad to see that you came direct to us from CNR Clothiers.
They're one of my clients, actually.
I beg your pardon?
They're one of my clients.
I can tell, yeah. One of his
dig
clients.
up dirt on a clothier?
Oh, come on.
No, we do their collection.
Now, Jan, you are a private eye, and the name of your company is what?
Well, J.B. Tucker and Associates, and I'm also chief investigator for statewide investigation services.
Now, Jan, wait. The Los Angeles Times calls you a hired mudslinger.
Exactly.
You're proud of that, right?
Of course.
A hired mudslinger. Well, they also also said that you sniff out scandal.
Exactly. See, it's in the
I think you need a little sniffing out yourself, I think.
Well, it's in the time-honored tradition. It's in the time-honored tradition of campaign mudslinging, which goes all the way back to the election between James G. Blaine and our great President Grover Cleveland, in which James G. Blaine supporters chanted, "Ma, Ma, where's my pa?" because Grover Cleveland had an illegitimate kid, and his supporters chanted back. His supporters chanted back, "Gone to the White House, ha, ha, ha." See, that's where mudslinging gets you. Right into the White House.
Well, this guy's a real jewel, isn't he? I'd never hire you. But listen, you are hired by politicians, and this is the most dirty thing I've ever heard of. Politicians hire you, and you're supposed to go and look up 30 years back in the record and try to find some dirt, some scandal that they can use in their campaigns. Don't you think that's pretty rotten? Now, why in the world? Why in the world? Don't get into your... What are you doing there?
Here, I'll show you what kind of mud I've got. I'm going to expose mud.
What have you got? I don't want you going in any files. Now, can you just talk to me off the top of your head?
No, here's some mud. Court-certified documents. Your position is that you want this man on the Board of Supervisors.
I don't want... What do you mean, I want this man?
Here's a man...
Don't name any names on this program.
Okay.
Do not name any names.
Here's a man who was busted, who's running for Board of Supervisors, who was busted for grand theft and felony bad checks. And if I didn't sniff him out, no one would have exposed the guy.
Now listen. Did he win? Hold on. Hold on. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You are helping smear campaigns, and that's the last thing we need. I think it's ludicrous and sickening that you would look back into a man's record going 20, 25 years ago and try to find maybe he was arrested for drunk driving 25 or 30 years ago, and maybe he's led a wonderful life all the rest of the time, but you will find that one thing he did wrong, and they'll use that in the smear campaign, not saying that it happened 30 years ago in his life. I think that is despicable. What about you?
See, that's up to my clients. That's up to my clients. But you see, what happens is I dig up the dirt. It's up to them to decide what to use. Another example, there's an assemblyman out in the Pomona area, and about 5, 6 years ago he was sued, not by the ACLU, not by the NAACP, but by the Pardee Construction Company, which charged him with specifically trying to segregate the city of Pomona while he was on the city council. Now, what I'm doing is a great public service. I'm exposing the truth about people.
You also are digging up a lot of dirt that doesn't mean a damn about a lot of very good people. I don't care what a person has done 30 years ago in his life. I care what he's doing right now and what he's going to do tomorrow. Don't you think that's right? I hate it because you are helping to generate smear campaigns, and I think it's atrocious that most, and we saw it right now in this presidential campaign, most of the candidates who run for office, they don't run on their own record about what I can do for you. They run by smearing their opponent, and I think that's atrocious, and you should be ashamed of yourself for helping them to conduct that kind of atrocious campaign.
Yeah, you see, that's precisely why I got into this business. See, all the major candidates do it anyway. We know this. You know, if you're running for president, you got millions of dollars.
They'd never hire you. I have news for you.
I know, but candidates who can't afford the high-priced people, they hire me, and that's why I charge only $5 to go back for the last 25 years in L.A. County and check all felony complaints against candidates.
Did you say that you're charging $5?
$5?
You have a hell of a nerve overcharging your clients like that.
$5 to check 25 years worth of felony complaint filings in the LA Superior Court is the most cost-effective service. Yeah. And the reason it's so cheap is because we also do this service for major hospitals. For example, do you want a child molester working in the pediatric section of a hospital?
Now you're getting to these kind of things, but I'm talking about, I've known of a lot of candidates who are decent, hard-working men and women who are running for office and have done nothing at all, and they have run, and people scum like you have gone and, no, I'm serious.
Hey,
let me finish.
If they're so clean, then I won't find anything on them, right?
Let me finish. There are people like you who will go after a very good man or woman and find some little tiny thing on their record from 25 years past, and you and the candidate running against him will bring that up and try to smear him. I think that's wrong. I think it's rotten. I think a candidate should run on his record and not trying to smear his opponent.
I think it's very important to bring out the truth about candidates. And the fact is that this goes on. We live in the real world. The rich candidates are always going to smear their opponents. And what I'm doing is making it cost-effective for the poor candidates to do it also.
You're making it easier.
That's right. That's right.
You're making it easier. You're making it easier for them to smear. As a matter of fact, you used to be a politician yourself, if I recall.
Exactly.
And he was a member of that wonderful American party, the Peace and Freedom Party. And the reason you're a private eye now is you ran 25 times for office, never got elected, so now you're a private investigator.
Well, actually, I was the most successful peace and freedom candidate ever. I'm the only guy who threw 2 elections, and you being a great Republican, you should appreciate what I did. I threw 2 elections.
I will never appreciate what you do.
I threw 2 elections, and Bobby Fiedler wouldn't be in Congress now if it wasn't for me, because I exposed the truth about Jim Corman from the left and threw that election. I got 2,100 votes. He lost by 700.
You are a member of the Peace and Freedom Party, and that is so far left. I mean, it is almost bordering on communism, and you know it is.
No, I'm far to the left of the communists because I believe in democracy.
Hold on. What do you think, by the way, of the Communist Party?
Well, I think it's a totalitarian institution that I disagree with.
Too far to the right, huh?
No, I agree with, for example, Karl Marx's first statement as editor of a German newspaper.
You agree with Karl Marx's first statement? What was that again?
He said that any government which censors the press is a civilized abomination and a perfumed monster. And I agree with that. I hope you do, too.
How many other things that Karl Marx said do you agree with?
Many others.
Ah!
His statement.
Many others.
That's right.
All right. Would you agree with Ronald Reagan that the Soviet Union is an evil empire? Would you believe that?
I agree that it's a totalitarian state.
No. Would you agree with Ronald Reagan? Would you say that Russia is an evil empire and an enemy to the entire world? Would you say that?
As a political scientist, I wouldn't stoop to such stupid rhetoric. Yes
or no? Is Russia an evil empire and a threat to the entire free world?
Many of the things that Russia does are evil. It is an empire. It is an empire in a specific political science sense that the so-called great Russians, the majority of the people, oppress other minority countries.
Can you answer me? I'm asking you very nicely. A yes or a no? Would you say yes or no? Russia is an evil empire and is a threat to the entire free world, an enemy to the entire free world. Would you say yes or no to that statement?
In the way that I've explained it, yes.
You haven't explained it at all. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Now, yes, David.
I was just going to say, Wally, that I think it's guys like this, in my opinion, that went after and got Richard Nixon.
Yeah, how about that? That's right.
And did a great disservice to this country, and I think what you're doing is despicable.
I'd love to have taken credit for being the Woodward or Bernstein of my generation, but one politician I did go after and almost got was Alan Robbins. I was the guy between the two Alan Robbins.
I will not talk about Alan Robbins. Alan Robbins happens to be a friend of mine, and you did a terrible disservice to him.
Which Alan Robbins?
We're not talking about Alan Robbins, the state senator.
Yeah, I did the 2 Alan Robbins stunt on him.
I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. All right, now look, you are known, I understand, as a socialist-feminist. Is that right?
That's right. I was former publicity director for the National Organization for Women in the San Fernando Valley.
Were you wearing a dress at the time?
No, I'm not a transvestite.
No, but you are a feminist.
Right. I support the ERA. I support abortion rights. I think those are
very important. Now, you know what? You say that you admit to being a socialist. You know that socialism is 1/2 a step away from communism. Did you know that?
I don't agree.
Well, I do agree.
Well, that's your opinion.
Do you agree?
All Even your President Reagan praised the president of Italy, who is a socialist, and talked about his great commitment not only to socialism but to democracy.
We have got to deal with people that we do not agree with to get along in this free world. Does not mean that Ronald Reagan ever has agreed with socialism. Let's go to the podium. Come on up, sir. Let's have your first.
George!
Hold it. Okay.
Hello, Wally. My name is George. I'm from Los Angeles.
George, you got some fans here.
Yeah, I do. In fact, there's one thing you said that I kind of agree with about Richard Nixon. At the time he was president and left the office, I worked for one of the largest news organizations that helped do what this gentleman does to him. And
you agreed with what the press did?
No, I didn't.
Richard Nixon?
I saw it and I didn't like it, and no one elected the newspaper people to say what they had to say.
I think you're absolutely right. Okay, now have you got a question for him?
I do have one thing that I kind of agree with. I think it's good that we look into the background of some of the politicians, or all the politicians, because...
Yeah, but you don't look back 30 years and try to find some little drunk driving arrest or something so you can smear them. I think smear campaigns are despicable.
I think they don't look enough. I think we don't hear the whole story. There might be something else beyond that, but we only hear the bad part. But then again, we need to know where they've come from so we know where they're going to go in the future,
wait,
right?
Just everybody, and including you, sir, and probably including me, everybody has a skeleton in their closet that they would not like to be brought out into the public eye, which has nothing to do wait a minute, which has nothing to do with what they're doing now in public office or will do in the future. Going back 30 years to find some little thing that they have is, I think, despicable and disgusting, and that's all I have time for you. Get off. Yes, come on out. All right. Go ahead.
Good evening, Wally. My name is Tom. I'm from Laguna Beach.
Yes.
First of all, I'd like to say I truly admire the voice in the wilderness.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. I'd like to address a question to your guest here.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, first of all, I spent a great deal of time up in Los Angeles County Superior Court, and I can state that it really does not take a whole lot of intelligence to search through case files and find anything meaningful in them. It's very easy and doesn't require somebody to be hired to go ahead and do it.
Well, listen, wait a minute. Since it doesn't require very much intelligence, he's probably the perfect guy for the job.
You got it. And I agree with you. I agree with you. $5 is truly overstating the price of that sort of service. Next thing I'd like to ask: do you really feel that your service is promoting the advancement of democracy in this country, or are you really not trying to establish a quasi Big Brother type government in yourself?
Well, first of all, you were right when you said company rather than country. But,
sorry.
No, what I'm trying to do is establish not a big brother system, but a big sister system. In fact, I bet you...
Wait, Jan.
I'll give you an example. Like right now, I bet like that, by snapping my fingers, I bet he's probably got an unlisted telephone number. I could find it right like that.
Oh, big deal.
You want to see me do it?
I'm so impressed, you know what I mean?
Nice toy.
Catch me through.
Deputy Dog.
Hey, what are you doing? We're doing a television show. Put that away.
I already have your unlisted number.
Keep your toys to yourself.
Thank you, Wally.
I'll write it down if you don't believe me.
Come on, go ahead.
Hello, Wally. My name is Kirk from Newport Beach. And first of all, I'd like to say here to this Deputy Dog Slime Digger. You know, if you're going to dig anything up, why don't you go find some Haydens or Fondas or someone like that? And how did you get your license anyway?
Yeah, how did you get your license?
How do you keep that license?
Well, first of all, I work equally against Democrats as well as Republicans. I have no sympathy for Hayden. I think he's quite right-wing, as a matter of fact.
Right-wing? Wait a minute. Tom Hayden is too right, too conservative for this guy. You know where he is, don't you?
That's right.
Oh,
now,
boy.
How I got my license, for example, you notice this long hair back here. I worked undercover on narcotics cases for years. I've exposed all sorts of corruption in purchasing departments of major industries. I have nothing to be embarrassed about in
Except
my record.
your suit.
You popped a button there.
He just doesn't like the color red.
That's right, it's red.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, yes, sir, come on up.
And my name is Artur Gusia. I came to this country from Poland.
Yes, sir.
since I came from Poland 3 years ago, I learned that in this country, in this city, is over 100 Russian terrorists, KGB terrorists. As an investigator, you should know this. Why the public, American public, doesn't know about this fact?
And why is that?
Well, I can't speak about the KGB. I can speak about the LAPD and how the LAPD tried to disrupt the Olympics. One of Wally's good friends, Irv Rubin, is now suing the LAPD Anti-Terrorist Division because one of their agents tried to convince the convince the Jewish Defense League, number one, to bomb Jesse Jackson's headquarters.
Oh, come on! I'm not going to hear this.
And number two,
that's
to
enough of that. I'm not going to hear that.
This is an official court
I
suit.
said. I'm not going to hear that kind of slander.
Which you know very well about.
You know that he was not going to do any such thing to Jesse Jackson's headquarters.
Irv Rubin has offered to take
I will not hear anyth't about Irv. Well,
if the police...
You're going to stop right now. You're stopping right now. Hold it. Listen, I've had enough of you and your peace and freedom socialist mouth. You're through. I'll be right back.